And now, Lamar, let me bring you in here. When we first learned about Mr. Bolden's predicament, his situation, we decided that we were going to try and put together some sort of a campaign to clear his name. He's been doing that as well. What's the state of that on your end, Lamar? And then I want to ask Mr. Bolden the same thing.
Sure. Well, you and I have known about his case for almost 20 years. We've spent about that long trying to figure out exactly who framed Mr. Bolden, who had the motivation, the motive, means, and the opportunity. And it all traces back again to a lot of these same mafia types, using some CIA types, who assassinated JFK. In Mr. Bolden's case, it was literally probably a man by the name of Richard Kane, the #2 man in the Cook County Sheriff's Department, who was also, get this, a made member of the mafia, who had worked with Johnny Roselli, familiar name, who admitted killing JFK, and he also worked with Santo Trafficante, the godfather of Tampa. So you had this made member of the mafia who was in the perfect position, and in fact, Richard Kane had connections to the mobster that the guy who testified against Bolden, the crook, worked for. So, in other words, we can now pretty much document who did it and why. The Secret Service was desperate to keep the Warren Commission from finding out about the Chicago attempt, about late-night Secret Service drinking like went on the night before JFK's murder. So when this was presented, of course, they jumped on it. So we now know pretty much who did it. In my opinion, we've got to release the remaining 1 million JFK assassination files, the CIA files, because they have a lot of information about Roselli and Trafficante and Richard Kane and Abraham Bolden that has never been released, even though there's a 1992 law requiring all the JFK files to be released. So people can go to legacyofsecrecy.com. There's a Tell Congress button. You can hit that. It'll actually give you a brief summary about this. It'll mention Mr. Bolden, and it'll help you find your member of Congress, your 2 senators, and you should send them an email and say, look, I want all these files released as they should be, because that's a good way to help get the information out there. Then it becomes clear, what happened to Mr. Bolden. Mr. Bolden left this incredible thing out because he's moving so fast here. But the judge in Bolden's case was so biased against Mr. Bolden in the first trial, the judge told the jury before deliberations that Mr. Bolden was guilty. That caused a mistrial, of course. And then guess what judge was assigned to handle the retrial? The same biased judge. So it's just the most ridiculous miscarriage of justice. But until all those JFK files are released, it's just going to be tough to really show that Mr. Bolden was just caught up in this huge web of national security related to Cuba and all these mafia types about whom the CIA is still withholding 1 million files.
Right. Abraham Bolden, how goes the work to clear your name, sir?
Well, we have several things underway, but to be quite frank with you, Thom, I'm not as much concerned about that now. I'm an old man. I'm not as much as concerned about that as I am the preservation of the Constitution for my grandchildren and for those who come after me, because I'm taking a stand because it's the right thing to do for a citizen of America, not for a selfish purpose of trying to get something out of this for me myself, because personally it's very difficult for me to go through this activity daily, and remember what happened to me and how the Constitution was trampled during my trial and what happened to me in the institution. But in order that these things be corrected, somebody has to step out front and shine a light on it so that the roaches, rats, and all of these different things can be revealed, and so that we can stamp them out before they take hold and infest the whole Constitution of the United States.
Yeah, and we've been working on that with our book, Legacy of Secrecy, and the website legacyofsecrecy.com. I know you, in your book, Echo from Dealey Plaza, Mr. Bolden, have been working on that. And sir, I want to thank you for your service to our country and I don't know. I want to say apologize on behalf of all Americans for the hell you went through. It's certainly not adequate, but sir, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on your show, Thom.
Indeed. And Lamar, we have about 40 seconds. If you could just wrap this up for us, I'd appreciate it.
Well, in addition to hitting that Tell Congress button at legacyofsecrecy.com, that you want all these files released. It'll help Bolden. It'll help us normalize relations with Cuba. Mr. Bolden's in Chicago. This took place in Chicago. And there's somebody from Chicago in the White House right now. And so people might ought to think about, letting that person or anybody they know related or
President
connected
Obama.
with that administration.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Know that, if anyone ever deserved a pardon, I think it's the person you've just had on your show, Thom. So, but again, unless the people out there, unless your listeners take action, nothing's going to happen. So people have it in their hands. Get these files released. Get justice for Mr. Bolden.
Abraham Bolden, Echo from DealeyPlaza.net, Lamar Waldron, LegacyOfSecrecy.com. Mr. Bolden, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
And Lamar, thank you very much.
Hey, thank you, Thom, for giving us this opportunity.
Great speaking with both of you. Talk Radio News up next. Stick around. 45 minutes past the hour. Thom Hartmann here with you. We'll be right back.